not even, I mean, I don't know, how do you balance that sort of challenge of think big versus
here's where I intend to go. Here's where I am. I understand that I'm not going to jump from here to here. Okay, it's just one step at a time, literally what you just said. Okay, so it's just understanding is I wake up each morning, I say, what's the one thing I could do today so that everything else that I could possibly do becomes either easier or unnecessary. On my way to that goal. Okay, and now I have clarity on that as well. It is literally for me either find somebody to hire us or find the right talent. Right? Because I think what we get wrapped up in is, well, how do you service? How do you provide? But if you think about that, when you spend that focus on those two activities, then everything else becomes either easier or unnecessary, right? Because my director of operations, Brooke, provides far better client care than I personally could.
Right.
Okay? So it's about having the right people in your business. And is there a struggle when you start off, if you're talking like from day one? Absolutely. Right? And I guess my best suggestion on that is just hold your breath and just barrel through the best that you can, because there is a struggle. I've seen this in businesses that have grown too quickly, and I've seen this where they end up giving poor client care, right, until things sort of sort out, right? But I'm thinking of a business right now that I know 8 years ago gave horrific client care, and now they're one of the largest companies that gives great client care in the area in what they do. And you know, they had to struggle through that little disruption period.
Right.
Think about this real quick, because I know we're finishing up. But think about when I think it was Chuck Yeager that broke the sound barrier. Right before he breaks the sound barrier, what was he experiencing?
Just
pressure, right?
Or whatever
Like, and he's the first one to do that, so he has no idea like what's on the other side of that.
Right.
Okay, so if you look at that, you compare that to your business, right? There will be times like that, and I think that's more of what you're alluding to.
Yeah. Questions, Frank?
You talked about you and Tracy starting out, and you're out there in the middle of the night. You could quickly speak to where you are now and where you...
He's still out there in the middle of the night doing this.
Yeah, but it's business, I guess, you know. Size of your business by whatever criterion, and then where you intend to be in 36.
Great questions.
So our real estate brokerage, we have 150 agents that work in our brokerage, and I say that the brokerage is really a training organization specializing in... and it's specializing in helping people to be highly productive. I mean, we are the place to be for productive agents, right? So if you're a productive agent in Northern Virginia, or you want to be a productive agent in Northern Virginia, this is the place to be. With Greetings Virginia, where we are right now, is we have a foundation of 3 segments. We're launching into 27 locations across Virginia, so that we're omnipresent in regards to real estate sales in Virginia, so that if you think of real estate sales in Virginia, you think of my company, Greetings Virginia. And we will be there within 5 years. We'll be in the 27 locations.
Thanks.
Yep, thanks for the question.
Yeah, great question, Frank. Daniel?
So how do you go from waiting tables at Capitol Grill to becoming an agent to owning the Kingstown brokerage?
Well, you met me. That was in 2007. And then everything sort of worked out.
And despite that, it still worked out. I would say, you know, it's just, you know, hard work. I mean, there's really no secret to it, right?
Well, no, but let's dig into that. You became an agent.
Yeah.
And you were affiliated with what brokerage when you became an agent?
Keller Williams, and then I bought the brokerage a year and a half after I was.
So you bought the brokerage a year and a half after you.
Yeah.
So there's a purchase month. There was a purchase month.
There was a purchase month.
And was that financed, bootstrapped?
No, I actually had originally came in with some partners, and I had purchased 20% of the brokerage at the time, and I had paid cash for that. And then I had subsequently ended up buying out one of the other large partners, and I paid mostly cash for that, and she took some paper on some of that for, I think it was like maybe 2-3 years. And then some of the other partners left the business, that type of thing. Okay. So I didn't borrow any money at all.
The original 20%, was that the Keller Williams agent ownership model, or was this a specific purchase?
Meaning the purchase
Keller
of the
Williams
brokerage?
has a program where a limited number of agents can buy in a percentage of a given broker.
Well, it was already existing at the time.
Okay.
Okay, and so what my 2 other partners had asked for me to do is they asked for me to be the operating partner. And what that means is the operating partner has the vision for the company, accountability, bringing in the the talent, holding them accountable. And so for me to be able to accept that role as operating partner, I had to own at least 20% of the brokerage.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So we have about 4 more minutes. Other questions? Yeah, Mark?
So for young entrepreneurs, we're just starting off, what are some things that you'd recommend looking back? And you mentioned a couple. What are some principles that you said that resonated with you the most?
I would say, and this would be for any entrepreneur, young or old, it's understanding that if something's not impossible, you can do it. I mean, it's really that simple, right? So if somebody's going to do it, why not you? Right? Why not me? You know, and just having that understanding, you know, Sam Walton started with how many stores? 1.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Did that work out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, right. So at one point, Sam Walton was sitting in a group like this saying, you know, I'm thinking about doing this retail store thing.
Right.
Right. Well, he probably said it much more powerfully than that, right? You know, with a much greater vision. But literally, my suggestion to you as any entrepreneur is know that whatever you want to do, it can be done. You know, but having that fundamental belief would be a starting spot.
You know, I want to say something, because what you said about having a vision that's big enough to attract talent, I think is really powerful. But if you think about it, and everybody here has this, forget about whether you want right now other people. Your ability to accomplish your goals is going to be at least contributed to by your willingness to invest your time and energy and your creativity in it. So the first talent that you need to attract for your business is your own, right? And so you need to have a big enough vision to attract your own talent, dedication, denial of instant gratification, powering through challenges and everything. And so if then it's how can you make it big enough to attract other people, partnership opportunities, etc. Jennifer?
I want to piggyback on that, Fraser, because if you're trying to find talent, which I'm doing as well, and building a team, you know, and you said you teach them how to be productive in your business, but they say you can't motivate people, you have to find motivated people, right? So what clues do you look for when you're out there and you're looking for people and looking for talent and trying to find somebody who might be a good fit? You know, what are you doing to find those people?
For 2 things. One is identify that they have a record of success. Okay. Now, that may mean, so for example, say it's a single father, and or not a single father. Say it's a father and a wife, and the father's like a stay-at-home dad. Okay, for the last 10 years, and you're looking for somebody with certain characteristics. Can you find that? And he hasn't worked in the last 10 years.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you're looking, has he served has he been the Boy Scout troop leader?
Right.
Has he served on the PTA? Like there's ways to find success or clues within that. So first you're looking for a record of success within whatever it is, the role that you're looking for, whether it be sales oriented or operations oriented. Secondly, have a clarity on who you're looking for. So for me, for example, I'm looking for people that are relationship based, people that are assertive, people that like to be a part of a team, people that like to learn, and people that are competitive. So again, right, when you're looking for those types of things, who would I be looking for if I'm looking for somebody competitive? Likely they were on the high school football team. And then when I'm talking to them, or something like that, right? And then when I'm talking to them, I say, oh, hey, so I find out they were in sports. Say, well, would you guys win? They say, well, yeah, we won a lot of times, but sometimes we didn't. Well, what was it like when you lost? And if they say something like, well, we'll just check it up for the next one, right? That may not be the competitive spirit that I'm looking for, right? And then for a learning base, I'll give that as another example. Say, well, what are you reading right now, right? You mentioned Michael Gerber, E-Myth, right? Mm-hmm. So if that's a book that they share, then that to me indicates, okay, that's somebody that has that likes to learn and likes to improve, right? So it's just looking for the clues.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The one is that success record, right? Because they can dazzle you in an interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they can, and again, you judge that, but seeing what can they point to? I mean, that is the foundation of, it's going to show up in their lives, right? Yeah. And then the clarity, you having some clarity about what are those characteristics. Because if you don't, then you're sort of in the ship that is being
You're
battered
just
around
like,
by them.
do I like this guy or gal or not?
And
right?
really, really, it's hope. I mean, you're sitting there saying, I hope you're the answer for my problems. I don't know what I'm looking for. I need you to solve it. Now, if they can sell you, then they might be good in one of those roles, right? Okay. Sorry, Daniel, one last, and then I'll let you get out of here, Dan.
Okay, so habits and systems is half the battle, or more than half the battle. But what are the top 3 things that you see your agents doing? The ones that you consider your top performers. What are their 3 current activities? Whether it's heavily active in social media or something else.
Yeah. Time blocking would be the first, right? So when you ask about social media, for example, I can identify around 27, I can identify a ton of different ways to be able to generate leads, okay? So the ones that I see succeed at the highest are the ones that identify what's right for their personality. Okay, so for example, there's some that are just killer at open houses, right? But their personality is one that's such that they make you feel warm.